right, guys, what is going on? Welcome in. So, look, the New York Jets have a huge game this Sunday at 1 o'clock, okay, in MetLife Stadium against the NFC champion San Francisco 49ers. And yeah, the San Francisco 49ers are not the same Niners team as they were last year back in 2019 when they were virtually a quarter away from winning the Super Bowl. Remember, George Kittle's banged up, Richard Sherman's banged up, Deebo Samuel's banged up, question marks on the offensive line, specifically the interior, right, the center and guard play. This Niners team is vulnerable, but we have to take into consideration they're 0-1. They're going to be coming into MetLife Stadium hungry. They're going to be coming in angry and looking for a win. That coaching staff over there in San Fran is stacked. Shanahan, Salah's going to be taking head coaching interviews this offseason, possibly with the Jets, who knows? Another video for another day. But look, the 49ers are, yes, they're injured. Yes, they're banged up, but they are still stacked. They are stacked. That front seven, absolutely ferocious. All right. So what can this New York Jets team do? Okay. Let's talk about the offense first. What can this offense do to have success against that front seven, against this defense? Well, the one thing I noticed in the Cardinals-Niners game, again, San Francisco lost that game. One thing that Arizona did to have success on offense that I noticed was getting the football out of Kyler Murray's hands quickly and often. When I looked at that, when you just take a glance at the depth chart or the roster on that defensive line with guys like Joey Bosa, Armstead, D Ford, they have pass rushers for days. They get after the quarterback, and if you can neutralize that pass rush by pretty much having the mindset of when Bosa and all these different dudes are up, by the time they're getting to the quarterback, if the ball's already out of Darnold's hands, or in this case out of Kyler's hands, then what good are they? They didn't really try to set the edge or anything like that. The ball was coming out of Murray's hands so fast that these dudes didn't really have enough time to make any plays at all. So I think no, I'm not talking about the 3rd and 10 screens or the 3rd and 12 screens that go for -1 yard, the classic Adam Gase. I'm not really referencing plays like that. I'm more so focusing on little slip screens to running backs, slants to Jamison Crowder, feeding him the football. I know he had a bunch of drops in week 1 against the Bills, but when we take into consideration where the Jets offense stands right now with having Denzel Mims out and having Le'Veon Bell out, 2 solid playmakers on offense, Crowder's virtually our best player on offense right now. We got to feed him the football. Get the football out of Sam Darnold's hands quickly, feed Jamison Crowder, get him the ball, get him involved early on. That's the biggest thing for me. Neutralize the San Francisco 49er pass rush with quick passes. And, I know Darnold's once that first option is open, the first read is open for Sam, he can really let it fly. And that's really when I feel like he's at his best. So another thing I did notice as well that Arizona did was a lot of play action, a lot of bootlegs, getting the offense to move from side to side, kind of making San Francisco's defense guess a little bit, setting up the run game and then, booking it out, play action, bootlegs, getting Kyler on the move so he can make throws running on the move. I think that's something that the Jets didn't do at all. I mean, is that even in the Gase playbook? I don't even recall anything like that week 1 against the Bills. Let's get creative. Let's put Darnold in a situation where he's, fake handing it off to the left and booking it out to the right side on the run, hitting Crowder or hitting guys like Perryman on these corner routes or these 15 and outs. Let's get creative. Let's get the Niners defense to go side from side. Let's wear them out a little bit. So high percentage throws, getting Darnold on the move, and getting creative, right? I feel like that's the only way to kind of have success against the Super Bowl caliber defense. So as far as our defense goes, I think we need to play a little bit more bump and run coverage. When Jimmy Garoppolo has he has the same issue as Sam Darnold, right? When the first read isn't there and he doesn't have a lot of time to throw, he panics, he tries to make something happen, he holds on the football way too long, or he just panics and throws it away. Sometimes he does do that thing where you see, Darnold does it, Daniel Jones does it, where Jameis Winston is, notorious at doing this as well, where if they're feeling the pass rush early or he doesn't know where to go with the football early on within the play, he panics, he moves around, and then he'll just chuck it in a double coverage, or he'll loft it up as he's getting hit, and it's an easy interception. So I think for the New York Jets, we have to make sure that these wide receivers are getting knocked off the line of scrimmage, and the rhythm, the entire West Coast Kyle Shanahan system is based off of rhythm. It's, 3-step drop. As soon as that back foot hits, the ball's coming out. You're throwing it to a spot, not a player. Everything is rhythm. So if we can disrupt that rhythm, even by a second, even by a second or two, that could pay dividends big time for this Jets defense. Okay, so really, if we play up close and we get these wideouts off beat, off rhythm a little bit, I think it also sets the Jets up later in the game to pressure Jimmy Garoppolo through the A-gaps. There's been a lot of question marks. I've talked to a lot of 49ers fans about the interior of the offensive line, specifically the center play and the guard play. I think that's an area where if the New York Jets want to send their inside linebackers up through the middle and really get Jimmy G to be subconsciously thinking that he's under duress or that the Jets front seven is having a lot of success breaking through the line, even though in reality it's just a couple plays here and there where they're sending the house or they're sending the middle of the field up through the middle. I think that could pay dividends, because I don't trust, or I do actually trust Jimmy G when he moves outside the pocket, when he's running to his right. I don't think he has a strong enough arm to make these throws on the run where he has to deliver ropes. I don't see that happening. So if you were the New York Jets on defense, bump and run coverage, get these wideouts off beat, off rhythm, and then pressure Jimmy Garoppolo through the middle. Get him rattled, right? Knock him down. Let's see what this Jets defense is capable of. And, also kind of, again, a little far-fetched for me to say, because this is what the Niners do. This is their identity. It's misdirection. It's pre-snap movement. Running back takes a step to the left. Wide receivers, you have to watch out for these jet sweeps and all these crazy different things. A lot of pre-snap movement. A lot of draining the play clock, and then snapping it with 1 second left after a lot of moving parts are going on. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors. We just have to kind of watch for that, not to get confused or bite on these jet sweeps, because you take a look at some of these teams, they'll bite on the jet sweep and they'll just hand the ball off the other way. Simple little handoff play, and it goes 30 yards for a TD. That's obviously a lot easier said than done, because again, the San Francisco 49ers are a Super Bowl caliber team. They were in the Super Bowl last year, and that's virtually, every single team out there has a hard time stopping that. So I don't even want to include that one. So just bump and run coverage, pressure up the A-gap, and I think we should be able to compete in this game. But again, I'll leave it with this. It's up to Adam Gase, it's up to Greg Williams, and it's up to Dowell Loggins to make sure that the New York Jets are prepared. It's that simple. If the ball is not coming out of Sam Darnold's hands early and often, he's not watching tape. That's pretty much what it is. And by him, I mean Gase, not Darnold. So I'll leave it there. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.